Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Beautiful day today. Weather was pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Nothing really to report. This weekend, this Sunday, is our monthly meeting. So if you come to our monthly meeting, it's this Sunday. So be there or be square. I mean, if you're cool, you can show up. If you're not, sorry, too bad. Not really. It is open to the public. It's family friendly. If you've been there before, it's the same time, same place as always. So show up. T-shirts. This is the one that my wife came up with. They'll limited time. I mean, you've got till, what is it? Monday, Tuesday, something like that. I can't remember. I don't look at a calendar as often as I should, especially having such a busy schedule. Just every day, it's something. But anyways, if you're interested in one of those, I always stand right where the sun is reflecting off of the creek. And it's always just right in my eye. Every time I come out here, I don't know. I just always pick the right spot for that. But if you want a t-shirt, you've got a few more days before they go off the market for good. So there's that. And, today is Friday afternoon. Some of you know what that means. A day of rest is right around, it's almost there. And I am looking forward to it this week because, like I said, this has been a really busy week. I've had multiple meetings. I've lost track. I don't know, 7 or 8 meetings at least. Lots of things going on, lots of busyness, calls, paperwork, just stuff, and that's not even including like the homestead stuff. Working around here, working on my truck for a couple of different days, and it's just that time. Anyways, I know some of you are like, would you just shut up with the babbling? The video doesn't start until 2.45 seconds or something like that. Listen, it's my channel. This is how I am. If we meet in person, this is how I talk. It's the Ozarks. I'm a southern boy from Tennessee, raised mostly in the Ozarks. And this is how it is. You want to move out in the country and homestead and be a country bumpkin, well, you better learn how they talk. And they take their time and they like to talk about just stuff. The news is absolutely crazy today. I'm really trying not to look at this reflection that's hitting me right square in the eyeball, but I'll just try to overcome it, right? But the news is crazy today. It seems like that this has become the norm. I mean, it's always been this way, I guess. Busyness just before the weekend, but it's just like it's getting worse. Let's just start off because I don't even know where to start. It's all over the board, but I think that what it does is, even though most of the stuff in the news seems like it's just random crazy stuff, it's all connected. You know that. If you are a follower of this channel and we share at least some similarity in how we think, I hope you don't think like me because it's out there crazy. But you know that all of these events, it's all orchestrated for a greater purpose, and it's not good. But silver today hit another almost record. I mean, it's record as in recently, but it's not an all-time high. But we are only $3 now. 3 U.S. Federal Reserve notes that are meaningless and fiat and have no value. But 3 of those away from silver reaching an all-time high. And I can remember, I think it was last year, people saying, oh my goodness, if silver breaks $40, if silver breaks 41, if it breaks 42, if it breaks 44, pandemonium's going to break out. Well, we're at 46 something, and it just keeps going up. Gold isn't skyrocketing as much today, but it's still high. It's way up there. And the reality is neither of those are high. It's just that your dollars in your pocket are worth less and less and less. And I hope that you understand that. Kind of in the same way as foreign governments don't pay tariffs. You do. One way or the other, I guarantee you, one way or the other, you're going to pay it out of your pocket. It's my neighbor. He's getting at it. That's how it is out here. It's a bunch of gun-toting, crazy, gun-loving nuts, and sometimes it just happens. Usually my neighbors, they're nice about if they plan on doing some shooting at night. I've got a few of them. They train just like I do. And they'll call me up and they're like, hey, if you hear a bunch of gunshots at 2 o'clock in the morning, don't be alarmed. We're doing some nighttime training over here. All right, sounds good to me. That's the kind of neighbors you want to have. Anyways, so yeah, silver's up. The Democrats in Congress have released some more redacted, unseen before Jeffrey Epstein file papers. Not all of them, of course, but some. And these show that Peter Thiel, which is the Palantir guru guy, Elon Musk, you know who that is, Steve Bannon, and I think there was a few other people were on the Epstein list, and it looks as if that they actually flew to the island. They just weren't random people on the list. That's probably not very surprising to most of you. But who knows? The president today says that he is ordering the release and declassification of the Amelia Earhart files to find out what really happened. You know, was she taken away by aliens and is hanging out now with Elvis? I mean, I don't know. It was 90 years ago. Probably most of the young people under 30 or 40 have no clue who she is. And I'm not sure why this matters anymore. But I will point this out. Apparently, it shows that the president does, in fact, have the power to order the declassification and release of classified files. So why isn't he doing that with the Epstein and saying, listen, if these files are not released by this certain time, you folks are fired. And I probably will prosecute you for, dereliction of duty and disobeying orders. I don't know. We'll see. Sure, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. I'm trying to remember because there was so much, and I've just had a busy day. But the thing I reported on yesterday, where the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, whatever he's being called now, he sent out this order to all the top brass all over the world, top generals and admirals everywhere, that they are to convene upon Quantico, Virginia, this coming Tuesday. Recalled them all. Some big, huge, top secret, high-end, whatever kind of meeting. And a lot of people are speculating that it has to do with war that is upon us. Well, today, it was released that, no, that's not what it's about. He's hosting a pep rally, and he wants to instill in military leaders that we've got to get back to the warrior ethos, that we have got to, become warriors again in the military, is what he's planning on saying. I understand he has military experience. I'm not discounting that at all. But he did spend most of his life as a news reporter, or news for something. Worked in news, Fox or something like that. I never actually watched him. I didn't know who he was until Trump chose him. If that is in fact what's going on, it could just be a psyop. It may. I got a big old huge army ant. Speaking of the military, I got a huge army ant crawling all over my camera here. If that is in fact what's going on, this is a huge waste of money. I mean, do you realize? Because I saw numbers of anywhere between 600 and 800 people have been ordered. And of course, some of these are overseas. A lot of these are. There are different commands and forward bases all over the world, because we have bases everywhere. They're not all right there on near the Pentagon. And so the flight, the traveling expenses, the logistic nightmare of getting them all there, the fact that, in a time of what appears to be potential war in Europe, we're pulling top leaders out. So here's the thing. If this is what all it is, it's just a big pep rally. That's a huge waste of U.S. tax dollars, because this could be done over Zoom or some secured video chat, or an email. And if it is just this, does this not show the inexperience that we would pull all the, and the I don't know, the hubris maybe, that we're going to pull top generals out of different, areas just to give them a pep talk about how we're going to change the direction of the military, which that should happen, but do this right at the brink of a potential war biggest war we possibly have been in decades, or maybe even ever. This is weird. Something's up, and if it is just what they say, that's bad, I think. And a lot of things have been happening over in Europe. It's like hour by hour. There's reports of random drones showing up, in the Baltic Sea and over Germany and over Norway and near their areas. There's a major uptick in NATO planes in that area. They have increased the number of refueling planes over those parts of Europe by a lot. So something's up. There's a lot of reconnaissance planes, a lot of nuke sniffers, and all kinds of stuff. It's just report after report after report. And so things seem to be pretty tense. I've not seen any recent reports in the last 24 hours or so of actual fighter jets potentially being flown, but there's a lot of other stuff. I mean, there was one report that Russian fighter jets were reported low flying over some NATO naval ships, but not in, kind of in open sea areas. So things are getting tense, and who knows what the weekend will hold. It could be nothing. Probably, I'd say the odds are still that nothing happens this weekend. But the odds of something happening soon, I think, are ticking upwards day by day. And I would suggest you get ready. There's looking at the things that are happening. I don't see this as a time period to panic, but here's the thing. Let's be real. If things start to happen that it does justify some level of panic, by the time I would make a video, upload it, and show it to you, it's probably too late for you to go do your panicking, right? Like, stocking up. Because then everyone else is probably doing it. So that's part of being prepared, is staying ahead of the curve. So, would I advise you to go out this weekend and top things off? 100% yes. If you're financially able to, I would absolutely go do that. Because we're getting close. I don't feel like it could happen this weekend, but who knows? It could. It very well could. And like I just said, once it hits, once there's hitting the news that Russia's bombing NATO, or that NATO's taking Russian planes out, then people are going to start panicking, and it may be too late to go out and do your last minute, stuff. So I think you should just stay as much as you're financially able to right now in a state of readiness. Your level of alert and readiness should be pretty high, I think, right now. In a few weeks, if it kind of cools down, then you can kind of, ratchet things back. But that's just my personal opinion. All right. That's about all I have. I haven't heard any rounds whiz by me. So, my neighbors, they know what they're doing. They stay pretty safe. I know some of you that don't live out like this, you're like, what in the world's all that gunfire? We don't have a lot of people come over to our house because I don't personally allow it, and you can judge me for that if you want, but that's just me. But there have been a few people that have come over to the house, and occasionally, they would hear gunshots. Like, what's all that shooting? It's just the neighbors. Who cares? Are they hunting? I don't know. Is it hunting season? No. Are they hunting? Maybe. Well, I don't know what they're doing. If it's bad, they'll call me, and they'll ask for backup, because that's the agreement we have around here. Anyways, get ready, folks. It's not looking good. It's really not. And then there's just all this stuff here happening in the United States that's just distractions and diversions and stuff. And then as that increases, that almost worries me more than what's happening in Europe right now. That's just me. Get ready, get your houses in order, and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.